Hi everybody. Can you hear me okay? All right. Let me try and see if I can get my dog on screen. You want to join? Good boy. Good boy. All right. He is here. Say hi everybody. Say hi Debak. Say hi. I'm going to the vet tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to the vet tomorrow. Hi everybody. Pia. Simply JJ from Cali with Love. Oh, wait. I have to start from the top. Hi, everybody. Alicia, Leah. You're hearing me okay, right? Leah, Norwegian Wood, Carol, Cindy, Letitia, Leah, Angel Star, Carla, OSP BTS 7 plus 1, Cindy, Sarah, Maritz, Warren, Rainstore, Bang Luna, Carla Girl, Newbie Love of BTS. Newbie Love of BTS. Are you a newbie fan? Are you a baby army? Michelle Santiago, Norwegian Wood. Um, Lisa, Lulia, Ulia, Ilia, Iliana, Iliana. A. Brown, Halina, Pia, Shelling, Newbie Love of BTS, Warren, Norisa, Cindy, Maritz, Taryn, Leia, BTS 7 plus 1, Lara, A. Brown, Michelle Santiago, Just the Tea Please, Donna, Cindy, Warren, Simply JJ, Sinri, Mrs. C9565, Gemini, Red Spear, OT71013, Carol, Team Messi, MLB, Shikati, Juliana. Can't wait to discuss AYS. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. Mama Ja, Robin Carr, Bang Luna, um, Evie, Saskia, Rain Store. Hello. Hello, Lisa, Kez M, Arlene, BTS 7 plus 1, Aussie Nugget. Hello. Hi, everybody. This is my dog who's going to the vet tomorrow. He's gonna hate me, but it's okay. It's for him. So for the last week, he hasn't been, he's only been eating dry food. So he hates it because he actually loves like his organic um slightly cooked meal. He loves those. I still cook them, so I buy them slightly cooked in the store, and then when I before I serve it to him, I actually grill it. It's just 'cause, you know, or I heat it up or something. Just because that's how he likes it. But the last several weeks, he's been only not the last week. He's only been eating dry food, which he hates it. Absolutely hates it. But what can I do? That when he's only eating dry food, he doesn't throw up. So I'm resorting to that for now. He doesn't like it all that much. So he would only eat like I think when he's super hungry, super hungry is when he'll eat it. But other than that, and then I think he'll just stop just when he's like, okay, I'm not hungry anymore, so I'll stop eating. He's very bougie. He's very bougie. No throwing up for now, but I'm still taking him to the vet because I don't think that's normal. He wasn't like that before. He was able to eat like his slightly cooked meal, he would be able to eat those and he wouldn't throw up. So I don't think that's normal. So I'll still take him to the vet and see what's wrong. But for now, he hasn't been throwing up. Um, the things that my mom were feeding him might have contributed to it because they were like human food, which I have never fed him before my mom arrived. But, she's a spoiler. He's very bougie. Mixed pumpkin. Yeah. So that I do. I do have pumpkin for him as well. Um, so yeah. So for now, no throwing up and stuff. But I still want to take him to the vet just in case. I'm sure they're gonna do some blood work or whatever, and we'll see what's up. Thank God he has insurance, so that saves me some money because one checkup is like when they do blood work, I'm assuming it's gonna go up to like I don't know 400, 500, plus the doctor's fee and stuff. So thank God I have insurance. Sugar levels, yeah, yeah. So I'll take him Thursday. That's actually my mom's day, his and mom's day. So they get to just decide wherever they want to go for that day. So I'll take my mom to the salon to get her hair cut. For those who've seen my mom, that she has a short hair, right? So I'll take her to the salon. I'll take him to the vet. So I'll just be the chauffeur for the entire day. Okay, so I knew you would love talking about AYS. I do too. So I was up until like I don't know, 3 in the morning or 4 watching it. I was like watching it, waiting for it the entire day. So loved it too. We would also be talking about just some business moves. So I know that I don't want to spoil everybody's happiness. And also, it is Jin's birthday, and he posted the letter to armies. So I was like, why don't we just keep it happy? The heaviest quote unquote topic that we're going to be talking about today is really just the business moves. These are just some insider information that I'm hearing, like not even insider information, more like rumors, the things that the four labels plus the black label moves that they're going to be doing to the US. Some are very, very interesting. So not really heavy, just some business stuff. So you caught JK cooking. I did. So I was able to watch his live, and then yeah, and then his friend that was living with him. It's just because I was with my friend. I intentionally asked my friend to. I knew I was gonna watch. Are you sure? So I intentionally asked my friend if he could watch with me. This is the friend who also translated "Are You Sure" season one for me, one from Korea. And so the unfortunate thing is that he's going to Korea for a visit, so he won't be here for the last 2 days. So he won't be able to watch it with me for the last two episodes. So I'm gonna have to wait for him to come back. He's gonna be there for 3 weeks. So unfortunately, but at least he was able to translate some things for me. The thing about the Disney translation, I think, is that they prioritize more. I think is that they know they have some limitations in terms of giving context, to cultural context, to what the two are talking about. And so they had to simplify things. I think it's more like, for as long as they kind of get a message, they're kind of, so a lot of the things that they were talking about, it's very much layered because the Korean language is, as Koreans would tell you, it's highly contextual, and half of the meaning is dependent on their tone and what they are and how, and the actions that they are doing. So if you don't understand the tone, if you don't recognize the tone, and you don't really understand the context of what they're doing, you're missing half of the meaning for the most part. And so that was the benefit of having a friend with me right there, because he's able to explain, okay, this is how it goes, and like this is their tone and whatever. And it's very, to I guess to a certain degree, many languages are like that. I know for the Philippine language, um uh it's it's also, it's a little, it's like that as well. Like a lot of the things that we're saying is dependent. The meaning of the things that we're saying is dependent on the tone as well. We're just not like fully aware of it because that's the language that we speak. We kind of understand a whole lot of it. And so so that was the advantage of having my friend with me. And they did say that the translation this season is a little better, but because of the nature of the language, we're still missing a lot of things. Now, I don't want to be the one to explain it because I'm not Korean. I don't want to be misunderstood. And I also don't have any defense. Like when somebody says, "Oh, but this," and if I say something, if I communicate some of the things that they're telling me, some of the things that my friends are telling me, if I communicate it and it comes across as something different to others, they could debate me, and I really have no defense because I'm not a native speaker. So I don't want to say a lot of the things that they told me. I would be more open to saying that probably in the paid um live stream on Fridays, because then at least you kind of understand where I'm coming from. You guys know me better. So I'd be more open into talking about that in the members only live stream. But here I will most likely just be sticking to how Disney translated it. Again, I don't want people, I know that there's a lot of people, especially on X, that are actually waiting for me to say something, and then they'll just blow it up on X and say that I said this and I said that. So don't want to get into that. I don't have time for that. I'm too happy with this show to even have to face things like that. So I'll just save all of the contextual things, not all of it, but some of the things that he told me in the paid members only live stream. At least there you understand where I'm coming from. I did try. I asked his permission as he was explaining to me. I did ask his permission if I could record at least his voice, and he did not give it. I'm sorry. So you do have to understand he's a lawyer. So there's a lot for him at stake. I can't tell you what he because I he's never given me permission to actually talk about his background, but it's kind of a sensitive position. So I understand where he's coming from. But I will communicate with you guys some of the things that he told me because we're missing a lot. Like so much of what they're talking about is very contextual. If you don't understand the tone, if you don't understand like how they actually act with each other, especially for those with biases, there's shippers here, solos here. I don't want to deal with that. So, um, okay, I'm not going anywhere near X, especially after MMA. You mean Mama or MMA? I can wait until Friday. I think it was translated using AI. Um, I think I'm fine with how much we got as long as it's decently translated. It's still very much fun, and you can still very much feel the bond of the two. Uh, I think that's evident, especially after watching the live stream of Jungkook. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. But like after watching the live stream of Jungkook where he was talking to his friend, you can, if you just listen very closely, you can hear the difference in his tone. The way he talks with BTS members, and specifically here with Jimin, it's just really different. He's very very sweet, very very gentle with BTS. Okay. It's very nice of him to have given permission for you to at least tell us what he told you. I know that no matter how good the translations are, they're not always right. Yeah. Not that they are wrong. It's just that not you we're missing a lot. Like it's very layered, right? I'm sure that that's true for any language. A lot of the things that we're saying are dependent on the tone, the context of what we're talking about, and the actions. It's just that it's specifically true. It's magnified in Korean, in Hangul, because they usually drop the receiver and the doer of the action. So if you don't know what they're talking about, you're kind of so confused. Like, what the hell are they talking about? 'Cause subtitles cannot contain the full meaning of any dialogue. Yeah, true. So I'm lucky to have like a very close knit Korean community. So that at least I'm very very thankful for. But yeah, I was like, I even asked his permission, like, can I at least tell this guys how we bonded? And so I just can't. And they didn't get, he did not give me permission. And there first, it's for a good reason. So, okay. Subtitle, JK was very sweet too, talking to his auntie during his life. I believe that is his help in the house, or it could be a relative that he employs. It could be a relative, but it could be employed, like that could be someone who's actually there to specific. I think that's a better way of saying it. She's there specifically to help Jungkook around the house. So that is the, I think that's the best way. I don't know who she is. Could be a relative by blood or a family friend or an employee, whatever. But she's there specifically to help Jungkook around the house. Um, Primarily, I'm saying that because just like what my friend explained to me, you know how hierarchy is very important in Korean, right? Okay, it's very very important. So usually, yeah, yeah. I'm not saying that it's a helper. It could be a relative that's specifically there to help him. So okay, so the reason I said that is that hierarchy in Korean is very very important. It's very important. So usually if it is somebody older, you do not ever ask them to do something for you ever, because that's very disrespectful. It's usually you doing something for the older person. And the mere fact that he was able, and he was very sweet in the way that he asked for it. He asked for the rice. But usually that's not a standard thing. So it could be, again, it could be a relative, but they're specifically to help him out around the house. So, but it could be a help as well. But we don't know. But that's the context of the conversation. Okay, so AYS. So I'll go through some of the things, and you're welcome to butt in. Tell me your favorite moments. If I am missing somebody or something, let me know. But these are just my thoughts. No specific arrangement. Some of this are just my favorite. Hi Team Twitch. Dodger Girl is on Twitch. So some of it are just my favorite moments, and some of it are actually my observation. I will make it clear. I will make a clear disclaimer if this is just an observation and I am assuming some things. But do remember that I don't know them personally. So, whatever it is that I am saying, it is all based on the show and the previous materials that they have released and allowed us to see. But I don't know anything more than that. So, and given that we're probably only seeing like 5% or at best 5% or probably just 1% of their entire life and how they interact with each other, then I have 99% of percent chances of being wrong. Okay? All right. So, what from what I understand is that it is actually Jungkook's idea, and we know that because the staff actually said it, right? So they said that this is actually this entire surprise thing, this entire surprise setup was Jungkook's idea, but also, as far as I understand, they both agreed to it. So it seems that it was Jungkook who came up with the idea. Of course, they run that with Jimin, and Jimin agreed. That is why they kept on saying in the first part of the show, they kept on emphasizing that they were sort of assuming, they were kind of anticipating that they were going to leave, right? So she was, when Jungkook said, like, I was really surprised. I did not know that you were gonna come today. So when during the interview, during the sit down interview, when Jungkook said, you wouldn't have come had you not heard from me today. And then during the course of the conversation, especially when they were in the car, Jungkook said, I thought they were gonna come that morning because this was afternoon, late afternoon. So he said that, like, I thought it was going to be this morning. So Jimin said, I thought it was yesterday. So that's why he was waiting. And then late in the afternoon, he said, oh, okay, I guess not today. So he just slept. And then the next day, Jungkook said, "You wouldn't have come had you not heard from me." So it seems that he called in the morning. He called the staff members in the morning, I guess, because the goal was to surprise them because that's what Jungkook wanted. So I guess they sort of whatever, they misled him or whatever, and then they came in the afternoon. That's why Jimin said, "I did not anticipate that we were gonna leave six o'clock in the afternoon." So so that was the like actually this was your idea, Jungkook. So and they were specific here that I made sure. They were specifically telling Jungkook this was your idea. It wasn't just like it was both of your idea. So it seems it was very clear it was Jungkook's idea. But Jimin did agree to it. So do you remember? And he said yes. And then he talked about, the surprise visit, and then he didn't suggest that he didn't expect that it was going to happen that afternoon, but he said, but we really suggested it. That it actually came from them. So this was funny because even before the beginning of the series, when they released the teaser and the caption of the teaser stated that the crew showed up unannounced. So you could just imagine the attempt of many people to try and whatever paint the staff members in a bad light, that they were whatever. But now we know that it was actually Jungkook's idea, so they were really trying very hard to surprise them because that's what they wanted, to be surprised. And he said that yeah, it actually worked because he did not expect that they were going to leave at 6 p.m. So that Jimin said, "I did not think that you'd come while I was sleeping." So, okay, baby, I'm losing my. Okay, let me just sorry, because he's so heavy and he likes sitting on my lap. Okay, baby, let me just. Okay, see, I have my legs are numb. I can't. I'm trying to. Sorry, Jim. I know he was going. He was going crazy. Um, and then he said that he said that the real issue is that I slept too late because he did not think that people were going to come in at like 6 p.m. So so he slept, and then he said that I did not expect everyone to barge into my house. Um so here he thought I thought we were leaving yesterday. So it was very clear that the both of them were anticipating that they were going to leave soon and that they were going to do "Are you sure?" soon after the discharge in the military. Very clear. They know. They know both of that. The both of them know that. Um and then he said, I thought it was, and then he said, my guess was last night. Very clear they knew they were anticipating. Never imagined that we'd leave at 6 p.m. So I guess that was 6 p.m. when they picked him up. And then Jungkook said, mine wasn't last night, it was today. So that's why in the very first scene, Jungkook said that you wouldn't have come unless I did not get in touch with you in the morning because he was anticipating it was going to be morning. So the haters were like, what else can we do? It was very clear. So Jungkook is high maintenance because of the amount of stuff that he was packing. So they both said that they did not anticipate it was coming. So I hope at the very least that's clear. The both of them knew. Jungkook suggested it. The both of them expected it. They just didn't know when and where exactly. Okay. So the job of the production crew was to surprise them because that's what they wanted. And I think they got surprised. They got it done. They were able to surprise the two. And then the it was funny. That scene on the door was so funny because it seems that Jungkook had a code because he was trying some codes. He was also trying his fingerprint. So probably Jimin just changed it or something because that part when he was doing that, he was trying his fingerprint, and then he wasn't it wasn't clicking. And so they said that try Jimin's mom, she probably knows the code. But then I'm sure that everyone knows this. Everyone who's ever lived alone, I think for Jimin to give the code to his mom is pretty that's pretty That's pretty amazing because usually you don't, especially if you're a grown man or a grown woman. You usually don't give your parents a code to your own apartment. That's usually disastrous. But for him to give it to, and they knew, and Jungkook knew that the mom knows. So it was like, okay, call his mom. Um, right? I mean, for those of you who live alone, you would know this. That's pretty amazing that the mother actually knows. And Jungkook knows that the mom knew. So they gave him the phone. He called the mom. He's living in a building with a cycle trolling the halls. BTS production teams are the best. I'm a mom of three sons, so I know that I keep all information for them just in case they forget. I'm their duplicated life minimalist. I get it now, BTS production. But the haters have their opinions, but it is when they total use their opinions to attack, stalk, and spread misinformation is what I hate. Jungkook was having a meltdown with a shrunken luggage. But this was funny. It was just like when he was trying his fingerprint. So I guess he knew the code at some point. Jimin just probably had to change the code or something. And then this, I think, is because Jungkook has already demonstrated this several times. He seems to be the type of person who will some things, ideate some things. Like he would think of ideas on how to do things, like the way he did it now. He was the one who planned it, and even the small games, he didn't plan it, but he was the one who thought about it. But even the small games, he hinted that it was him who actually suggested that instead of just doing like a relaxed trip, they do some play some games and whatever. So he seems to be that type that would think about things for his friend or for his family members or for his loved ones, which I thought was very surprised because in season 1 we've seen this in season 1 as well. The crew was actually taking notes from him because he was telling them, I want to cook, bring this, bring that, I want to. So he seems to be that type. And then for this season he was the one who prepared the surprise. So um my family always click, I forgot password. I love Jungkook's giant shorts. So that's very sweet of him. I think it's very rare for I may be stereotyping. It's rare for guys to actually plan things. Like they would be just like whatever. It's very rare for them to be planners. I know that they are planners when it comes to business or when it comes to work, but not necessarily for things like this. So it's nice that he actually has that in him. Um Jimin once said that his parents have a room there. Yeah. You saying that reminds me that he was the one who got them all involved in the flying yoga thing. In most of the K drama, the mothers have the passcodes to their single sons and daughters' homes. It's not usual even in Korea because even the staff members were doubting that the mom knew the passcode, right? It was just Jungkook who confirmed and one staff member who confirmed that the mom knew. So so it's not common even in there, even in Korea. And my friend confirmed that it's not common. If you're a single guy and you're living alone, you usually don't. So that it was it's sweet. I'm not judging him or whatever. It's sweet that his family has uh like an open access to his home. I think that's sweet. Was happy to see where his pasta cooking began. My husband enjoyed planning surprise weekends. That's very rare. Rare. I know that they're planners when it comes to work, not necessarily with. So I also this we already knew, and I've emphasized this when I did the Jungkook misinformation. He's always been probably the most physically affectionate in the group, one of the if not the most physically affectionate in a group. I mean, we've seen in the misinformation video I did for Jungkook, I've shown some of the stuff where he's extremely affectionate. Bye, Lorena. Why are you leaving so early? Bye. um so like when he is affectionate, of course, towards certain members more. J-Hope is one. He's very affectionate towards J-Hope. We've seen him actually like sit on the lap of J-Hope, like facing J-Hope and then just embracing him. So he's very affectionate, and he's also very affectionate towards Jimin. He's more affectionate towards some members than others. So like he would constantly, like there's a need for him to constantly touch, like be connected to the person that he is with. Um and I guess he is affectionate as well verbally. We've seen that even with Mingyu. Remember, if when Mingyu was it Mingyu? When Mingyu was doing a live stream and he was like, "Hi, bye, yeah, like bye, love you, bro," or something like that. So he's very affectionate, and I love when it actually shows, because when he is with people that he is comfortable with, because he can just do whatever it is that he wants. It wasn't a surprise for Jimin's mom to know the password, knowing how close he is to his family. True. Jimin saying his house was a mess, but it was um, totally spotless. Jungkook respects their boundaries. He is a maknae after all. And they're already talking about AYS season 3 in Korea doing their own vehicles. I want them to go out of the country. So there you can just like see how affectionate he is. He's always like touching Jimin. He would connect with Jimin. Very sweet, very sweet. And I am glad that he is with a friend that he's comfortable doing that with. And I think that's also why um they work together as travel buddies, because Jimin kind of just lets him, like he knows how to respond and how to just let Jungkook do it. Like when yeah, like he knows how to just accept the Jungkook's affection. So I think that that's one of the reasons they work so well together. Um and that they travel well together, because Jimin knows exactly how to respond to him. So yeah, I am happy that he grew up, because undoubtedly BTS members have a huge effect on him, because that's where he spent his adolescence. He joined the group when he was like 14. Um so I think they were able to make Jungkook feel comfortable in just showing affection. And so Jungkook was able to nurture it. Most likely that's his nature already, but growing in a group, growing in a family, I'm talking about BTS, growing in a family that receives it and just allows you to be comfortable in it. That's great. I hope that all kids grow up that way, that kids just feel comfortable showing their affection. That is why they survive the buddy system from the military. Jimin's parents told him that his condition is like a model unit that no one lives in. They're both very affectionate with each other and certain other members. Yeah, they are. They are more affectionate to some members, because some members would receive the affection differently. Like RM is actually affectionate. He's very affectionate. It's just he shows it differently. So I guess the dynamics of the affection, like how you would embrace and hug and touch or hold hands with another member, is not always the same with the other member, because it's two way, right? So some people would receive it well, receive it a certain way or whatever. But Jimin here, because it's their show, we can see exactly that he knows how to receive the affection of Jungkook. So I think that's why they work well together. Okay. So here he's touching Jimin again. So touching Jimin again. Uh I love this scene. So when they were playing I forget the name of the game. When they're playing the game, they won. It's like Jungkook just threw his body at Jimin. I think he often forgets that he's bigger than Jimin. So when he just went for Jimin, it was like, oh my god, Jungkook, you're way bigger than Jimin. You're like three weights above Jimin. So RM loves to give affection but does not like to receive it. I think he's okay receiving it from certain people. I think it really depends on the dynamic. Like for I think Jin is able to be affectionate towards RM. but his affection towards RM is different from his affection towards towards JK. If you know what I'm seeing, like there's a sibling, like there's a younger sibling dynamic because he is younger between Jin and Jungkook. But yeah, so I love this scene when he just threw his body towards Jimin. And I was like, oh my God, Jungkook, you're three weight classes above Jimin. So you have to be careful. But I love it when they were both so excited because they thought that they were going to lose. They were winning in the beginning. They were winning in the beginning, and then I thought they were going to lose, and then won in the end. And also, I love how like when Jimin, so supposedly it was Jimin who was going to throw the sticks, right? He was the one who was supposed to do it, but he told Jungkook, in times like this, I'm not lucky, so you better do it. Um, Yes, they used to massage each other during their tours when physically they. I will never forget Jin drunk at Jungkook's birthday. The absolute mess Jin made of Jungkook's cake with the grapes. Yeah, it's just. Oh my god! I think the military story is one of my favorites. This is, I think, one of the. I laughed with my friends so hard because he was also sharing how it was, right? So okay, so I'll share a certain some moments that he shared with me, and then the rest I'll share in the members only live stream. So it's KCTC training. That's what they were talking about, and they go into the jungle. The thing is that they actually aren't ready. They're not prepared because they're not told when it's gonna happen. So they usually know the assumption on an everyday basis is that, especially in the beginning, is that anything can happen when you wake up in the morning. So you always have to be prepared. So, but they're not necessarily prepared for 5 days in the jungle where they will just sleep everywhere. Like they will just pitch their own tent if they have any. Most of the time they don't. Um, and then and then and so if they find a body of water, then they can soak in it. If they find some like waterfalls, then they can, I guess, use it as shower or something. But when they go out, usually when the training starts, they don't know that it's going to be 7 days in the jungle. Um, so so that day when the assumption is that day they went into the jungle not knowing that they're not going to return for 2 weeks. so, so when he said that they didn't shower for 5 days, my friend was shocked that it was just 5 days. Like, oh, they found a body of water. That's the only way they could have showered. They could have like bathed when they found a body of water. But usually, if you don't, then you don't. You just don't shower. You return 2 weeks later, and that's the first time you're gonna be taking a shower. And then the thing is that you can't. So in the military, you do your time. Your shower is timed, so you can't really just. You have to do your business and then get out of the shower. So for 2 weeks, you don't shower, and then you finally shower, and you're like, okay, I have to be done by 5 minutes. It's like so um and then so I asked my friend about that scrubbing because they were doing some sort of a motion, right? So my friend actually described it, but I'll tell that story in the paid live stream. But it was funny. So but what I love about it is that how so Jimin said that he was sort of in the middle. And my friend said it probably because that was the deepest it goes. That's the deepest part. That's why he was in the middle. So the advantage is that, well, because it is in the middle, it is the deepest one. So a lot of your body is covered, but then you're also like in the middle. So everybody can see you. But it was funny that Jimin just felt someone looking at him. He was um like I there's just electricity. I felt it, and he looked back and he saw Jungkook watching him. So it was like when he said that everything else disappeared, and it was just the two of them looking at each other eye to eye. So And then the way he demonstrated how he was looking at Jungkook, it was like there's this pitiful condition in his eyes, just like helpless. They didn't know what else to do. But I think things like that really bond you. When you go through things like that, there's just like you're bonded forever. Is absolutely no way you're just bonded forever. That's going to be that's that's gonna draw you in closer together. Okay, you wanna go down, baby? Okay. Say bye to everybody. Say bye bye first. Say bye bye. I'm going to the vet tomorrow. Wish me luck. Okay. I love the animation. So and also just like but I also love that look in Jimin's eyes when he was talking about it and he said that's like he looked at Jungkook who was above who was positioned in a higher ground looking at him was while he was eating and Jimin's like everybody else disappeared and it was just the two of us looking at each other just like how pathetic their life has become. It was so funny. But yeah, I'll tell you more about it because I asked my friend. My friend actually served. My friend did it a different way. As soon as he was qualified to serve, he served to get it out of the way. So before he went to college, he actually served the military in Korea. So yeah, okay. What I love is that Jimin was so open about sharing the story. um, Jimin strikes me as someone who's actually rougher, meaning he's more open, I guess. He's more open about things, talking about embarrassing things that other people won't necessarily be open to talking about. Um, but yeah, I'll tell you more about it. It was funny the way that because my friend described it, and it's like he said that most of the time you're not prepared. You have like very little with you, so even if you shower, you'll still end up wearing the same clothes because you're not usually prepared for that. So it's like, okay. VJK fans wrote letters and threatened this. Just, oh my god, let them. Okay, I love their phone call towards J Hope. I love so it was just okay. So they were talking about popping, right? They were talking about popping, and um, Jimin couldn't recall when he told Jungkook. Jungkook just has this photographic memory when it comes to his conversations with Jimin because Jimin's like, I told you about that yesterday. And it's like, yesterday? No, you didn't. It's like, oh, the other day. And then finally, Jimin remembered that he told Jungkook about studying popping when the day that they got discharged. Someone did the math on X. And so this was the 15th. They got discharged on the 11th. Yeah, they got discharged on the 11th and they got kidnapped on the 15th. So it seems that they were together from on the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and then the 14th, and then on the day that they both got kidnapped. Um, yes, he's blunt and rough. JK agreed. And months ago, he said Jimin was funny and very kind off the leash in the military. Yeah. Well, yeah, Jimin said that he's very raw, like he's very blunt in his speech. But I guess even in like the way, even like when they did the show me what's in your bag segment for Disney Plus, I think, or was that for Vogue? It was obvious. Like Jimin had three things in his in his bag: the lip oil, and then his wallet. That was it. And then Jungkook all have all this stuff in his bag. So, but also he's a smoker, so he probably needs all of those stuff so that he doesn't smell after smoking. Since you've learned it, I'll follow your leads. So they were talking about popping, and then they called J Hope. And J-Hope said that when Jungkook mentioned that he was gonna learn popping, J-Hope said like out of nowhere, "You commit to something for like a week." And we know that Jungkook is like that. Like he would start something and then he would stop. But I also feel that that's because he's naturally good at things. So he doesn't need to spend a lot of time on something because he's naturally good. It's easy for him to learn, in other words. So I think that's part of it. Like when he feels like he's learned enough, then he lets go. So maybe that's why he doesn't really need to stick to something for very long. Or maybe he's just impatient. Like he just really loves variety. The Bobby Brown sold out because I know I was trying to buy one and it sold out. So the car keys, yeah. So someone decoded that they both had a Porsche. So I was like, hey, okay. I guess they can afford the Porsche. So JK is so gifted. Yeah. I think that's part of it. When you know that when it's not challenging for you anymore, then you don't feel the need to spend a lot of time with it. Or as I've said, maybe because you just love variety of things. So, okay. And then the other thing is that they've always matched each other's athleticism. And we've seen that in the first AYS, in the first part of Are You Sure? In Are You Sure season one, we've seen them try the skiing and snowboarding. So apparently in season one, Jimin did mention that he's done snowboarding once, but that was like 5 years prior, and I think he did it with the friends of Jungkook. He thought that he was actually with Jungkook when he learned it. But you can see even after just doing it, 5 years ago and doing it once and then doing it again, he was able to sort of at least go with Jungkook and do the snowboarding. He was better in skiing, and it looks like they're gonna do that again here. But at least Jungkook is able to like spend someone with he do some things that with someone that can sort of do it with him. Like he has a partner in doing that. And I think that's part of the why they match so well, because Jimin can actually match his athleticism, and Jungkook's extremely athletic, naturally gifted. He has a naturally gifted ability in any kind of sport. So I think that's a huge part of why they travel perfectly together. Um, and here is the same thing. The only that so when they were trying to learn the paddleboard, is that what it's called, the paddleboard? They were both were able to do it almost instantly. They like in the beginning wobble, and then like after 3 minutes, 5 minutes, they were able to do it well. So I think that's part of it. But Jimin seems to be really in love with the water because he was just like he jumped on it, and we saw that in part one as well, in season one, when they went to was it Jeju? They were like, yeah, Jeju. When they went to Jeju, they actually did snorkeling, and he swims so well. They didn't even have life vests then. So yeah, I think it's water is his element, I think. So I hope that he gets to do more of that. Um, Jimin catches on to sports, kayaking, and paddleboard faster. Yeah, and I also did what was it called? You know that machine that blows water and they sort of like fly. What is that? We saw them do that, right? I don't quite remember where it was, but it was like in the early stage of their career. But he was the fastest to get it, like almost instantly. They were standing on the that kind of machine. I don't even know what it's called, but it blows water, so they elevate. Do you know what I'm talking about? And do you remember that? Like almost instantly, he stood on that thing, and he knew how to do it. He was manipulating it. He was like driving that thing in like less than 2 minutes. Um, so I think he has something for the water. I think he loves it. And the way that he just jumped here, he was like, I'm gonna jump. um, so yeah, it's like when he jumped and said that it was cold, I laughed because yes, mountain lakes are very cold. I got pushed into one summer camp. Jimin is a mermaid. Case closed. So yeah, I think that's, as I've said, I think that's part of the reason they mesh well together, because both of them are athletic. I'd probably go out and say that they are the two most athletic in the group. You can probably put Jin there. Jin just simply doesn't show it a whole lot, but the three of them, um, it's just that I think Jimin and both Jimin and Jungkook can do ball sports, anything with the ball, quite well. But I think Jin is better using his body when it comes to sports. But the three are the most. Flyboarding, there you go. Water jetpack. Okay. So I don't know what it's called, but it's one of those. So yeah, flyboarding or water jetpack. So when Jimin went on there, he was like, so instantly he knew. He was like, for 30 seconds he was trying to figure it out and then just got on it. And Jin too, he was very good at that. Jin hides it well, but he's right in that set. Yeah, I think yes. So that's exactly what I said. But I think when it comes to ball sports, the two are better. Um, Not that Jin is bad. I'm just saying that when it comes to ball sports, I think the two are better. But then everything else, I think the three, those they are the three most athletic. I guess that's how I can frame it. um, okay. And then yeah, so this was him just learning how to use the paddleboard, and it's like, okay, just relax. And then he was able to stand on it. He was like, okay. And then the same thing with Jungkook. I know that they showed an instructor teaching him, but even before the instructor went to teach him, he was already doing it. He was standing on it already. He was just like learning how to navigate, but he was able to do it almost instantly. Okay. Was it BV Hawaii when Jimin's towel blew off the ship onto the water? I think that was it. Yeah. I think that was it. Yes. Um so that's him paddle boarding. And I also love how they match each other's freak. They love rage baiting each other. And they're just that's I think one of their love languages. They just love teasing each other to hell and back. So this was Jungkook doing the kung fu on the where you hang your rack, the rack for coats, I guess. And then Jimin was just like cheering him on. Go ahead. I love this part as well. So when they were gaming, when they were doing the board game, they were almost gonna lose. So they were trying to avoid one of the caps of the crew to finish, because if they do, then they will lose. So just how they reacted to us, like Jungkook was like, "Oh my god, how did we avoid that?" I was like, the way that they reacted, they were like just kids, they're just kids. They're just like how crazy they were. But as I've said, they match each other's freak because one person would start and the other would just follow. I was like, "Yep, that's great." But and then here, um when Jungkook was trying to get the paddleboard away from Jimin. Oh, this one, I almost didn't get the joke if it wasn't for my friend. So they were apparently talking about so the both of them like doing things at night. They're both night owls. And then he said like, "Oh, we love doing the night." But then we came to a country where night actually starts later, because it's like around 8 p.m. is when the sun sets. And then Jungkook said, "Oh, I recently visited Bam." And Bam is night. That it means night in Korean. So he was like, Jimin was sort of starting a joke and he blocked it. I was like, I recently spent some time with Night, which is Bam, his dog. So I wouldn't have gotten it if it wasn't for my friend. He just explained it. And then someone sent it to me on Twitter when Jimin was saying like, "Oh, I need to do this so that it's natural." So that there's a natural walking feel. It feels like it's a picture in action. So there's this TikTok trend apparently where you can do some stuff so that it looks like you're moving and someone took a photograph of you. And that's where it started. So it's a TikTok trend, what he actually did. These two are very much into memes and any kind of TikTok trend. So, and then this is one of the most hilarious moments in the 2 episodes when Jungkook was just losing his mind trying to fit everything in that small suitcase. Although they were given a bigger suitcase, which they actually shared. But so one is a minimalist. So I guess Jimin is a natural minimalist because he was able to. He did bring a lot, but when they were both told to size down, he was able to size down no problem. It was actually Jungkook who had a lot going on, like his gadgets, a lot of stuff. So but it was funny how the difference of on the between the two because Jimin finished packing way faster than Jungkook did, and he actually had some more space because he was done packing, and he told Jungkook like, "Oh, I have some space here. I can put some of your stuff." And then they were given an extra bag, which is one of the sponsors, is what I understood. So they were given an extra bag where they can carry, so they can put their stuff there. And then after that, they also were given another bag that they would like another suitcase that they would actually share. So Jungkook is like a woman who always overpack. That's funny because I would always start like Jimin and end up like Jungkook. Would start very very minimalist, and then I would just end up with everything that I think of. So I can definitely empathize with Jungkook. And then yeah, Jungkook bringing so many pairs of shoes. My gosh. So I mean, but at least he was able to actually cut his everything that he needed to bring to a quarter. JK's extension cord had me rolling. Do you bring extension cords? I bring extension cords to Korea because the socket is actually different. And I also bring an adapter. So the problem is that because we usually book 2 rooms, so my niece and I and my mom, we usually book 2 rooms. Or if we do Airbnb, we usually get an Airbnb with at least 2 rooms. So then I always have to bring more than one extension cord because we can't share because we're in different rooms. I could pack 3 pairs of shoes and in the space 1 pair of jonko. I only overpack on underwear. Yeah, actually Jimin got that to a T. So that was one of the few things that I learned very early on when traveling. Do pack more than what you need in terms of underwear and socks. So if you're going on a trip for 5 days, bring 10 or 15. And then and same thing is true with your socks. So because the rest is easier, like a shirt is easier, but your underwear and your socks, you have to bring more of that. So that I learned. Um, and then what actually surprised me is that they don't have a smaller version of their toiletries. So for my toiletries, I have a big one which I check in if I'm going on a longer trip. So I check that in. It's in it'll go in my luggage, in my check-in luggage. But I do have a smaller version which I can bring in my hand carry so that if it's a 16-hour flight or a 10-hour flight, of course I need to brush my teeth, right? So I was surprised that they didn't have any because Jimin was literally just putting all of his toiletries one by one, like the toothbrush, toothpaste. It's like, don't you have like a smaller version of that? I always thought that's like a standard thing. So I tend to wash some of my undergarments, and that helps. My goal is to travel like Jimin, but I end up like Jungkook. But I always end up helping people, like having meds for Phaedra in Jungkook was huge though. I've never seen an extension cord that big. Oh yeah, my extension cords are not that big. But then he also charges a lot of stuff because he does have a camera and then his computer. So they give you all that on first class. Yeah, but I still bring mine. Even if I am not doing first class or business class, I still bring mine. So that I was kind of surprised that he didn't have like a smaller version of it. And even the one that they put in the suitcase, it didn't have a bag. It didn't have a toiletries bag. I thought they would like okay, and then they were given like one that both of them can share, which was bigger than the one that they had individually. So at least the crew was considerate enough. I also love the difference in their approach to things. So Jimin was tying his paddleboard in the whatever that is in the middle. And Jungkook, so his was a little strategic, and Jungkook was just brute force. It was just like, no, I'm just gonna carry this paddleboard and put it on top of this thing. So it also highlights the way how different they are in the way that they approach things. So just thought it was like unique in that you can see the difference in how they approach things, right? One was tying it, and the other one was like, nope, I'm just gonna bring it on top of this so that it doesn't like swim away from me. I also love probably one of the highlights would be the little things that they do, like when they play the game before bed. It seems like it's a game that they played a lot because it was like Jungkook said, like, "Do you want to play this?" And they both of them knew what it was instantly when they were cutting veggies together. Um, and then this part when Jungkook got well, he didn't really got his own music video wrong because this was during the game when they were supposed to guess which music video it was. And it was his music video. It's just that he wasn't fast enough because he mentioned his name first, and the production director said you're supposed to just say the answer directly. And so Jongkook was like, "Oh, that's unfair." And then he turned to Jimin and is like, "Say something, like fight for me." Be my lawyer in this. But these little things, like you can see their dynamics, how they treat each other, who like the role that the other play in each other's life in times like this. Jungkook's still the maknae. You know, you can't. He still acts like a maknae. He thinks like a maknae. And then here, this is that part when they were already in bed in I believe this was already in Switzerland, and they were like, "Okay, let's play a game together." And they were like, "Oh, you can't win unless I go easy on you." And they played it, who knows for how long before they actually went to bed. So small things like that. They have some things that they share that we will never be a part of, but at least to get a glimpse of it in shows like this, it's pretty nice. And then this was funny when when Jimin was trying to just copy Jungkook's cutting. I'm sure Jungkook has toiletry. Hobie has toiletry bag. Probably. He, if there's anybody. When I travel with my kids, we pack two carry on and one big suitcase that we share. Hobie has packing bags for everything and use tissue paper too, probably. So I love this part when Jimin was just trying to match Jungkook's rhythm in cutting the veggies. He wasn't really cutting. He was just trying to match the rhythm, just so it would appear like he was cutting. But also during this part, so he did help Jungkook a little in the cutting, and then Jungkook was like, "Oh, it's great. You were able to finish what it is that you were able to the your cutting, your task. You were able to finish it." And then Jimin said something like, um, I'm the type of person who are able to accomplish things by sheer perseverance. And then I remember Suga at one point during Suchwita, I'm pretty sure, or it could not be Suchwita, but Suga said something like Jungkook is naturally good at things, but Jimin is naturally a hard worker on things. Like if he wants to accomplish something, he will keep on it until he accomplishes it. And then Jungkook is just like naturally good at things. So they can accomplish the same thing. It's just that Jimin will accomplish it in using perseverance, and Jungkook will just be natural at it. So, it's obvious that the crew has been with them for a long time. They have an easy rhythm amongst themselves. Yeah, yeah. Even the way that they were teasing the producer when Jimin said like show the face of the producer, don't censor it. You know that. And they introduced him. He said that he's been the producer for all of their variety shows, their travel shows. So it's been a long time partner of theirs. Um, but AYS is Jimin's idea. The first AYS, yeah, this was Jimin's idea. So he was the one who told Jungkook about it. Jungkook agreed, and then they told the crew. So, but this one, it's the surprise came from Jungkook. The idea of the surprise came from Jungkook. So I just love this moment when both of them were cutting because they were just having fun. Like it was nothing special. It was actually Jungkook who was cooking and Jimin was just trying to help. Um, then just the two of them laughing. It was like totally senseless. It was not sense. I guess for them it meant a lot. Like just being there, having fun with someone is a total gift. If you find someone that can laugh with you through the smallest of things, don't let go of that person. Right? Um, and then, my God, Jungkook's probably a really good cook. He probably really is a good cook because the way the crew even said we can't eat this anymore because they bought pasta, but after eating the one that Jungkook made, everyone was like, I can't eat that anymore. I just open up Miss Fairlane. I just open up my Disney. Now I want to watch it. Talk to all of you later. Love, not hate. Have fun. So I think if we find, yeah, so I think you find someone that you can have fun with you and can share these little moments with you. Don't let go of that person. And Jungkook is, I do remember, was it J-Hope? I think it was J-Hope who said that Jungkook actually really loves cooking for Jimin. And with this, I felt like it's obvious why, because Jimin is so appreciative of his cooking. Like he would really express how good the cooking is. So if you're doing, if you're someone who's doing something for someone, being appreciated is really a good thing. So he made the same pasta on his live yesterday. Yeah. I thought just that Jimin ambush is Jungkook's idea, not the entire show. I thought ambushing in his bedroom was wrong, especially for a private person. Like he did not ambush Jimin on camera. It was all he entered alone. He even told the crew that I will go in first and you will go in once Jimin asks me to enter. He was very clear if he asks me to enter. So in watching things like this, be very carefully um, watch what they are saying, right? If you would remember, even before he entered the room, the crew was already there. Before he entered the house, before Jungkook entered the house, the crew was already there. They did not go with him. And then he specifically said, if Jimin asks me to enter, okay, go back to the very first 5 minutes of the episode. It was very clear. He said, if Jimin asks me to enter. Okay. So they entered after Jimin told them to enter. All right. And the other thing is that do remember Jimin and Jungkook owns HYBE. They co-own HYBE. They are the together with the rest of BTS members, they are the fifth biggest shareholder of HYBE. If Jimin and Jungkook doesn't want anything shown, it will not be shown. Okay? Let's not spoil their show. This is their show. This is their idea. This is what they wanted to do. So give this boys the benefit of the doubt, not even the benefit of the doubt, but respect that they have the intellect and they also respect themselves enough to not allow people to invade their privacy if they don't want it. Right? Okay. So have fun. This is a show that they're offering to armies, so let's have fun with it. Okay. All right. So so when Jimin actually said that um he wanted more, he wanted to eat more, he asked Jungkook if he can repair the second pasta. And then after that, he asked him to do the third pasta, the one that they bought from the convenience store. And he was able to do both. But it was so funny how Jungkook reacted to that because he did it. So he when he said like, "Oh, I'm not sure if I can actually do anything about this," he nonetheless did it. And he was like, "Oh, I'm not sure if it's actually gonna work. I'm also nervous how Jimin is going to react." It's hard to repair a food that's already cooked, by the way. So when it's already done, it takes an actual expert. It takes an actual expert to be able to take something that's already done and then repair that food. But Jungkook was able to do it. So he said that so when after he did this the second pasta, or I guess the third pasta, he was like, "Oh, I'm nervous too how Jimin is actually going to react." But Jimin is just so good in expressing his appreciation for the effort that Jungkook actually exerted to do it for him. So again, happy that he has a friend like that. I'm happy for Jungkook that he has a friend like Jimin, and Jimin for having a friend like Jungkook. So he was like, "Ah, yeah, it's delicious." When Jimin actually took another bite. I also love their stream of thoughts. When he said that, just when they were driving, I think they were on their way to their first accommodation, and they were talking about like it's provincial, it's very quiet, it's very rural. And then Jungkook said that at some point I want to live in a place like this when I get old. He's already thinking of retirement. This very far from that. So, but it's nice that he's thinking about those things. Like I think those free streams of thought is very important. It's very important for because that's like a very private thing, right? It's a private thought. They know that they are being recorded. And I think after what, 12 years, they already know how to control what they are going to say in front of the camera. And the mere fact that they are allowing us to hear thoughts like that, it means that they are okay for us to hear those thoughts. So hearing that, it feels like it's a privilege that they're allowing us in their heads, at least a small portion of their heads. They're allowing us to get into that. And so we know that, yeah, they're thinking about that it's not that they appreciate the quieter part of life. And I hope that he gets to do it, and Switzerland might be a perfect place for him. um so he said that when they were talking, he said that it's amazing that there's a whole village up in the mountains like that, so quiet. It feels like I'm inside a storybook. And then Jungkook, this is when Jungkook said that so far away from modern life, and then that he feels like he wants to live in a place like that when he gets old. So I have that in common with Jungkook. I also want to live in a place like that when I retire. And this is Jimin's Disney moment. Jimin's Disney moment. So I think Jungkook was trying to feed the who was it who wanted to build a BTS retirement village? I think it was J Hope or Suga. One of the two, J Hope or Suga. So I think for Jimin, most important member is J Hope, and even RM mentioned it, and JK is his little brother. I don't know who the most important member is for him. I know that he has a very special bond with Jungkook. I don't know who the very most special member is. So I love this moment because it was his Disney moment. It was just feeding the bird from his hand. Um, and I think Jungkook was able to V. So V was the one who wanted to build a BTS village. So RM talked about BTS. Okay, so I don't remember, but one of them did. So I think Jungkook was also able to feed the sparrow eventually because when there were sparrows on his other side, but the camera wasn't able to catch it. But I think he was able to feed it from his hand as well. So he kind of learned the trick. Just don't try to feed it; let it come to you. um, okay, we're talking about Jungkook and Jimin. Let's go. So, let's not. Okay. Um, this part was very touching. This part when Jimin said that my military memories are with you, RM is with other people. So that was when they were because RM sent them something which they did not show, but it was related to the military. And Jimin said that, that RM is such a sentimental person. He's very much in touch with his emotion. I'll discuss the deeper, the layer of that conversation as relate to my friend. I'll do it in the Friday live stream. So when he said that, oh, my memories of the military is with you, when Jimin said that, and Jungkook was like, yeah, 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 right, right. That we were together, and then Jimin said, but his memories are with other people. So um, it was a very important because it's a core memory for them now, going through something like that. And I will share with you a little of what they went through based on the experience of my friend. Um, so it becomes a core memory. So and that it really plays a huge, huge part of your life. Uh, so that part when Jimin said like, "Oh, my memories of the military is with you. Like that's what I remember. It's with you." And then for RM though, it's with other people. It actually means just know that it means more than what we think it means, because the military life is a core memory for them now, because you go through so much, especially RM. He kind of shared a little of what he experienced. So I think that was a very important conversation, that small conversation, and there might be more there, but they caught it. And also that I'm glad that they were actually able to share that with each other. So yeah, it's nice to hear that. Like they were forever and ever. They will always have that memory together. And during that time, they had someone familiar and a family with them as they went through that experience. So that was a very important conversation. Um, that RM part is making me think of his wildflower. Yeah, yeah. I would love to see what RM sent them. They will never show it for sure. But yeah. Someone sent me this and they said that this is a unique way they shake hands. Like this. This is a very unique shake hands. The unique, very unique way of shaking hands. It's a very Jim and Jungkook thing to do, but that's usually how they shake hands. I This is also a funny moment. So when they were doing the grocery, they think that, or at least our Jungkook thought that they went over budget, and Jimin said, "No, I computed it. I computed it in my head." We know that he's very good in math, so it's not like anything surprising about that. So he probably did rough computation in his head as they were getting stuff. So they were right on the money, not right on the money, but they were under $50. And so we're like very, very happy about it. And then Jimin went to look at the camera and said, "This is adulting." They were on a budget, which is kind of funny because they're millionaires. If they wanted to, they can buy the entire grocery, I'm sure. I will always be happy that they enlisted together. Yeah, it's an important thing. But even my friends also said that it's rare. It's rare for two friends to remain friends after they serve together. And I will discuss that with you a little bit more because he explained it. So yeah, so it's rare. So that only explains it more. The closeness and the bond that they have to have served together for 18 months and then still be friends after that. Jimin calculated almost to the cent. Yeah. Love this part as well because we know that Jungkook loves writing. He really loves writing, and this was, or at least this is a part they showed us when he said it over and over again. This is fun. This is insanely fun. I'm having fun. This is good. It feels good. Like the view is so good. Like you can just, because Jungkook's a very very verbal person, so you can just feel the happiness coming out of him when he was writing. And he did say that he wants to start writing with a group. If he spends enough time in the US, he will find a lot of groups that actually write together. I don't know how it is in South Korea. Maybe there are some. Um, but I don't think it's a very popular thing in South Korea. But I love this that he was able to ride the motorcycle because he loves that a lot. So here he said like this is insanely fun. When Jungkook said this is insanely fun, and Jimin said insanely, he said yep, it is insanely fun. And he looks good. He looks so good on the motorcycle. So it's time. So he was riding a BMW. He was riding a BMW. Maybe it's time for BMW to actually start working with him, or Harley or Ducati. Um, and okay, so this is one of my favorite parts. This would have been perfect had they been actually physically together in the car, but Jungkook was riding. But this part when he was talking about um Jimin said like this is a whole new kind of joy. He was talking to the producer who seems to be sitting in the car with him. And he said like going on trips like this, seeing all of these beautiful things. He said that I think it's a big part of life. It makes you see things in a different way. And he said that, oh, we're not living. And I will explain because this is one of those translations that actually did not capture exactly what Jimin was trying to communicate. The depth is, it's way deeper than what the translation is. I'll discuss this in the Friday live stream. So I'll explain this better. But this is what he was talking about was deep. So when he said that, yeah, of course we're not living our life only for this. But he said that like this is a new kind of joy. Being able to do all of these things is a new kind of joy. And then he said like, um, but trips like this make me think for a moment. He said so again, we'll discuss the actual meaning of that in the Friday live stream. And he said, this is why I live. He said, this is why I live. And then the next part, he said that it'll be nice if he and I can share this feeling. What he actually was trying to say is that it would be nice if they were at that moment, when that moment hits, they would be physically together, but he's writing. But Jimin said that, but it's okay. I just hope that he gets to feel it too. So yeah, the translation doesn't quite capture what he was trying to say, but you again can see the psyche of Jimin when he said that. Yeah, I hope that we can share it, but if we can't, at least I hope that he knows he's also feeling what I'm feeling. If we can't share this together, at least I hope that he would feel what I am feeling as well. Okay, I feel left out because I won't be at the Indie Friday live stream. Um, so in the Gym and Misinformation video that I did, um, I said that Jimin has a metacognitive awareness. So, and the more I watch of this, whatever, I of this activities and trips and whatever, and as I go back to Bon Voyage, and the more it actually surfaces. So the metacognitive awareness is a person's ability, or not even ability, but the like nature to watch your emotion form. So most people, and this is a psychological study, I guess to a certain extent a psychological fact, most people would feel an emotion and then realize it later, right? Like if you're angry, you're just in that moment, you're angry. Or when you are in love, you're just in love. Or if you're happy, you're just happy in that moment. And a lot of it is actually healthy to be in that moment, to be present in that moment. There are very few people, it's very, very rare for people to pull out um and then watch their emotion form. Okay. So like he has the ability to sort of detach from his body, from his from himself, and sort of watch the emotion form, and think, rationalize it. So the first time I actually got a hunch that he had that was when he said, when he was like looking at some paintings and he was appreciating the paintings, and then he suddenly thought like, "Oh, why are they naked?" Like when he looks at a painting and there are naked figures in the painting, he would like why is he naked? And then he said that, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Like maybe I shouldn't even think about, I shouldn't even be here, but because why am I thinking about that? So he is becoming of he's becoming aware of the emotions forming in him. And it's rare because most of the time, as I've said, you just sort of give into your emotions, especially if it is an intense emotion. So here he demonstrated it because when he w- when he was watching the cows, he was like, oh, there are cows, and he even told Jungkook about it. um and then he said, I wonder how they taste. Like, do they taste differently? And then he catches himself and he said, like, wait, why am I thinking about how they taste? Like, this is wrong. I should stop thinking about this. This is wrong. So that's him watching himself think. Like he's rationalizing his thought as it forms. Okay. So, and that could be both, that can be a burden and also a blessing at the same time, because you being aware of your thoughts means you have better control over, you can have better control over your action. But also often you will be a prisoner of your control, because you're the only one controlling your own thoughts, right? So instead of just letting it flow, it could be exhausting because you're constantly catching yourself thinking and forming that emotion. So yeah, so that he demonstrated again, and he's demonstrated that many times before. If you just go back to all the run episodes, all the Bon Voyage episodes, you will the in the soup, you will actually realize, oh, that's how he actually thinks, as opposed to so he said, I shouldn't be talking, my he's like, oh, okay, my bad, I should not think about this at all, I should stop. But Jungkook, I've mentioned this as well in the Jungkook misinformation, he has an eidetic imagery, not eidetic memory, but he forms things, like he forms his thoughts using images. That's why he's real time editing, yeah, of your emotions, of your emotions. So Jungkook said when he heard standing next to you, when he decided to do it, he immediately started drawing things. He actually said that. So that's how he forms his thoughts, like through images. And I said that, I discussed that in the Jungkook misinformation part in the video. So if you want to learn more about that, just go back to that. And it's interesting because now that I'm studying psychology, it's like, oh yeah, those things. It's actually true. So watch yourself. Like, how do you form your thoughts? There's so many, by the way. There's like hundreds of stuff that. Okay. Um. Next, JK is very visual, very very visual. It's 5:30. Will you have time for other topics? Yes, I will have time for other topics. At least one. Okay, and I'm also almost done with this. So, and then Jungkook, this is seriously fun. This is what I'm talking about. He's so in the moment, always very much in the moment. I also love this part when he said, "I have enough firewood. I have enough firewood. The problem is that the fireplace has gotten old," because he was talking about BTS. He said that the one thing that he wants to talk about, he wants to do now, is to do BTS activities. So that was just like a funny. He's again aware his age. He's very young though. I don't know if that is a tattoo. It seems to be a tattoo, right? He thinks to he. It seems like he has a new tattoo. Don't you think? Do you think that's a new tattoo? Okay. Oh, that was it. That was and then some of the photos that I have of them. This is Jungkook feeding Jimin. Yeah. So tell me, I will do a more organized review in a video and I'll upload it. And then let me know what is your favorite part of the entire thing. Okay. So do you want to do, let's do the founders, let's do the business side of things. And then if we have time, we'll do the news and updates. Okay. So the black label, it seems, will actually go public. And then, so for the Black Label, it used to be owned and under YG Entertainment. And they separated early in 2022, I think. And the most physical thing that they actually did was to leave the office of YG and then really seriously give me more. And then they went to a different office. So they went independent. They are not, um, they're actually not in the YG office anymore. So initially everyone dismissed it as like, oh, it's nothing. But apparently Teddy actually bought some of the shares of YG. So it seems that he's really going independent. And the only reason, um Young on One Elbow Forever. No, that's Jimin. That was Jungkook. It's a new tattoo on where is the same placement as Jimin. I don't know if it is. I'm just wondering. Okay, so initially Black Label was the production company of YG Entertainment. So, but they're still very much YG Entertainment. And then he went on a different office. So he moved out of the office of YG. So initially I thought, that's nothing. Maybe it's just them creating a subsidiary but still under YG. And the reason I thought that was that he brought a lot of the trainees of YG with Black Label. I'm talking about Teddy. He brought a lot of the trainees of YG to Black Label. So Meow, that original group, was supposed to be under YG. He took all of them. So I thought that doesn't make sense because it's YG who was supposed to be investing on them. Um, and then he also took Annie Moon, the Chebel granddaughter. So and then he formed All Day Project. And so I thought, yeah, maybe he's doing something. He's doing something different. Maybe he really is going to gun. He really wants to be independent. Maybe YG just has a share, but it seems that his move is really to go independent. So he is starting some traditional moves to go public. And that includes getting more investments from foreign investors. So Sechan Changtu, one of the biggest investors in South Korea, invested more on the Black Label. Okay, so and then they have other venture capital firms that have already invested as well. So it looks like that those are traditional public moves, IPO moves, and there's also some talks that they hired a new CFO, who previously oversaw the IPO of Pearl Abyss. So it's a company in South Korea. So they're saying, yep, they are going to build. Teddy is on his way to build, to really go independent, be totally independent from YG. Now, the thing is that former Adore staff are now working for Black Label. So all the people, all the all the former staff of Min Hee Jin transferred to the Black Label. And so Hae In, Hae In, the youngest member of New Jeans, who's back in Adore, also used to train in YG allegedly. So now in the questioning in the court, HYBE actually questioned Min Hee Jin about her connection to a Silicon Valley based capital firm. And this firm is also the one investing in the Black Label. So their theory is that at some point, Teddy might actually work with Min Hee Jin. Probably not to employ her fully or something, maybe to buy OK Entertainment, the new entertainment company of Min Hee Jin. She's conducting some auditions, by the way. So that's kind of the theory that's going around. One, that yes, the Black Label is going to go public. He's probably going to severe his ties more and more as time goes by. So they feel that Teddy is actually going to buy the shares of YG for him to have more ownership over the company and be totally independent. And then, given that many of the Adore staff is already, former Adore staff is already working with the Black Label, they feel that there is a possibility that Teddy is going to work with Min Hee Jin. I do not think that she's going to be employed by the Black Label, but probably a partnership of some sort. Hope he treads carefully. That would be a terrible business move. Let's see. Maybe he'll invest or something like that. I mean, it's obvious that she has investors because she's conducting an audition. So that's at least easy. If she trains them for a year, that's an easy $1 million. So how could anybody in their right financial mind work with that harpy? I mean, why would you just employing people from Adore? Why would you employ people from Adore after everything that they had done to Wahib? Isn't that crazy that they actually employ these people? Um, so another link that keeps on popping up is that Daniel has been spending a lot of time with artists under the Black Label. So Park Bogum and Junishan is actually under the Black Label, and she keeps on spending time with them. So people are like, what is the move? Is Daniel trying to get signed by the Black Label? And I thought the Black Label is going to be very crazy to actually try and sign her, because there is a huge possibility Adore is going to sue this girl. So let's see. Let's see. Maybe she's trying to court the Black Label to get signed. I mean, that's Park Bogum. His career is going well, so probably he thinks that yeah, that's a good move. That's a good place for her to move to. Now Hae-in used to be a trainee of YG Entertainment. Well, she already resigned, not resigned, but went back to Adore. That we know. So let's see. Let's see if that's going to be so the Black Label going public is probably a certainty, 99% after all of these moves. But then the big question is whether or not it is true that the same investors talking with Min Hee Jin are also investing in the Black Label. Daniel spending a lot of time with people in the Black Label. Let's see if they're actually going to work together. Okay, so some moves that might happen. So these are not confidential stuff. I guess confidential, whatever. It's business moves. So, it's corporate things. So in 2026, HYBE will do less acquisitions of big companies. They might still acquire smaller companies, but they are going to concentrate on actually utilizing the big investments that they've made, Latin America and India. They might make a move in Europe. That's the word on the street. They might make a move on Germany or one of the European countries, one or two European countries that are in the top 10 biggest music market. And so I'm thinking that's just Germany. I mean, UK and Germany. They don't have any in UK, so that's a possibility, or Germany. Hani and Minnie aren't far from each other. So let's see. My bet will be UK because that's a pretty big market. That's my bet for their next move. But then they're also saying that there's a big possibility that they're just going to, like, the plans that are being laid out by HYBE is them actually utilizing the current investments that they have. So let's see what's going to happen. The thing is that Latin America, they said, so if there's anybody here from Latin America, congratulations, because they said that it's going to be a big part of the tour of BTS. France or Germany, EU entry would be good, I think. Yeah. They said that let's see. So congratulations to the Latin Americans because they said it's going to be a big part of the tour. Um, they said it's going to be a surprise. Like, people are going to be surprised how much they're going to do in Latin America, which I think is good because we've seen, I mean, we already know how popular Twice is in Latin America, right? So we know that there is a market there. It's just not getting tapped. And then planning an office in Latin America. Let's see. And then there's going to be a major move in gaming. They will partner or acquire a major gaming platform. And then they will start their entry to the metaverse via gaming. And when I say big, I mean it's s- like one of the biggest gaming company in the world. They're going to either partner with that company or acquire something connected to that company. But they're going to be bigger in the gaming industry now in 2026, all for the benefit of BTS. So there might actually be something in the metaverse for BTS to start making that move, maybe connected to gaming. Okay, so for SM Entertainment, um, I don't know if for those that are in California, they've had this office, they've had this land in Koreatown that has been in construction for as long as I've been here in the US. We have a stadium that seats 104,000 people. Well, I hope that they do a concert there. They definitely need a bigger venue. Okay, um they have an office here very close to where I am. It's been in construction for the last 10 years. Of course, the pandemic hit, so that also dampened any kind of move that they're making. But before that, Entertainment, which is the entertainment company that um, Isuman built, they're going to launch a group in 2026. That's the industry talk. He's going to start making a move. There were claims that he was going to go back to SM. I don't think that's going to happen. It's not impossible, but I just don't think it's probable. Um so okay, so now what SM Entertainment, outside of what he's going to be doing, Isuman is going to be doing, SM is really having a hard time planning their seeds in the US. They can't seem to get their bearings. They don't know the right strategy. The biggest move that they made was working with Republic Records to launch Super Junior. Did not work. Okay. It worked for the Asian market, but they were targeting the US market. Didn't work. Did they did okay in sales, but they did not sustain that success. No longevity. And this was the amazing thing is that they actually started bigger than when BTS started. Of course, BTS started from the ground, but when they did Super Junior, they got a spot in many shows, talk shows. They got a spot in the Grammy. Was it a Grammy? Yeah, I think it was a Grammy pre-show or something like that. So they started bigger, but they still weren't able to capture the market that they wanted to capture. So now the next move of SM Entertainment is to partner with a label, and they will turn over part of the management of a group, probably ESPA. So, and when I say turn over part of the management, they're not going to give up full control, but they're going to give them better control over the group this time. And the goal is to learn from this company. It's going to be a subsidiary. It's not going to be one of the big three, but it's a subsidiary of the big three. So one of the groups of SM Entertainment will be co-managed by a label, a subsidiary of one of the big three. So they don't understand the market. Avengers of K-pop. Good guy. Yeah, it was like a big, I don't know, like they really gathered the best of the groups. I mean, Temin, Kai, those are some of the best of K-pop. It's just that the marketing was wrong. They wanted to start big as opposed to starting from the ground, which is what, in essence, not in essence, but that's what Big Hit did with BTS. Even Stray Kids and Twice, they started from the bottom. So what the unique thing is what SM Entertainment is going to start doing more of is develop their production capacity and ability in the US. So, for example, for this is just an example for HYBE, for example, if there is a group in HYBE, a group under HYBE that is doing something in the US, they will get local providers. So they will sign up local production companies and production and cameramen and even directors. They will sign up local ones. What SM they said is going to do is develop their own. So meaning they're going to employ people to start developing their production ability and then work from there up. So as opposed to working on the management, establishing network first, and then develop and employ their own production people later. They're going to partner with a subsidiary of a big label, learn from them, the management, develop the networks and stuff like that, while simultaneously developing their production company. It's going to be costly, but let's see, Kakao is behind them. So maybe my thought process is that they want to do both at the same time because they feel it's going to take less time, right? The advantage of HYBE is that when they bought Ithaca, they bought the network of Ithaca. So it was faster for them. But SM couldn't seem to do the same thing because they couldn't find a Scooter Braun to partner with. So they're going to do it a different way. Partner with a subsidiary of a big label, develop their own production ability in the US. And then at some point they feel what they are hoping to do is for the two pillars to actually move and grow together. Espa's US tour was a disaster. Wasn't it sold out? Or at least some of it, right? Some of it was sold out. Okay, JYP, do they have the funds for such a move? Kakao has funds. The thing is that Kakao is trying to liquidate their companies. So they're trying to pull apart a lot of the things that they own and sell of it. But Kakao has. Kakao has. Okay. ST, think you're in the video. We are past that. Okay. Okay. So just don't pay attention. For as long as she's not or he's not like cursing people. Okay, so for JYP, um, JYP is actually so they said that they're going to debut a group in 2026. One thing I I absolutely respect how JYP has managed his group, right? Groups because it has obviously been successful twice. Stray Kids, I think uh, it's undeniable that these two groups have been globally successful, and J I think Stray Kids they're on their way to um okay, one second. Let me do something here. So, okay, so but the one thing is that I feel like he does not he does not nurture them long enough for them to actually make it big. A lot of the groups that he managed, if they are not successful from the get go, he lets go almost immediately. So, for example, um, ITZY was really big in the beginning. They were one of the biggest in the beginning. They had one of the um, they had one of the best launch for a fourth gen group. But then at some point, it fell apart, and it seems that he also let go. And when I say he let go, I mean he's not pushing ITZY more. And I think it's because he's not getting the result that he wanted, as opposed to Stray Kids and Twice, because he got the results that he wanted. He kept on it. Because if you would observe for JYP, he has two groups that have the raw talent to really make it big. Um NMIX and ITZY. Vicha, they rebranded to Girl Set. So I feel like you could have nurtured these two groups. ITZY is just so talented, but I feel like he's not pushing it the right way. And now, if it is true that he's going to debut a new group in 2026, then what's going to happen to ITZY, to Kickflip, even Day 6, and Mix? So, but then his main goal is to expand to the North American market. Now, he doesn't seem to want it to do it the same way that HYBE has done it. He doesn't want to find his Scooter Braun. He doesn't want to find his Ithaca. And also, it's expensive to find your Ithaca. I love Day 6 as well. So it seems that what he wants to do was do it ground up. So he wants to grassroots first and work his way up. And so he's going to use a lot of the funds of Twice, a lot of the revenue of Twice and Stray Kids. So he's always wanted to expand to the US. Correct. Yeah, he was the first one to actually make a move. So, but I feel like this is my personal thought, and I have, who am I to question his success? It's just that I feel like he's been trying to do that and use that strategy from the beginning. So his idea to go and expand to the US market actually started with Wonder Girls when the song Nobody But You became so big. That's what, if you would remember, he moved to the US with Bang Shiyuk, blah, blah, blah. You know the story. So it hasn't worked. So I feel like, but he wants to continue with this strategy. So I feel like maybe it's kind of time to sort of try a new route. And now that he is earning a lot, obviously, from Stray Kids and from Twice, maybe he should, maybe if he can't find his own Ithaca, find something else. But I think he needs to start really pushing developing networks because that's going to take you far. And I've said this before, but the biggest advantage that Ithaca provided to HYBE is the network. So it's like building your own network in Hollywood can take you 20 years, right? And so if he does not change his strategy, that's another 15 years or maybe 10, as opposed to buying something like Ithaca. Then you're kind of buying 20 years because they bought all the networks of Ithaca. And then of course, Scooter Braun is still a major shareholder of HYBE, and so he's still there, and he himself said that I'm still working for them. He's just a non spending board member. So, but let's see. But he said that that's the strategy, and it seems that he doesn't really is making any kind of move to purchase any company. We might be surprised in the future, but for now, I haven't heard anything about him buying a company that will make this process faster for him. But he's going to be the plan allegedly is to expand using Stray Kids and Twice influence and network. Let's see. JYP doesn't have the aura like Bang Shiyuk does. I'm surprised that some of the other labels don't snap up some of these people, if not the groups, when they are so good. What do you mean? Okay, so for YG Entertainment, allegedly they're going to debut two groups in 2026. I know of one, but I did not know that there's going to be another one. But allegedly, one of the things that YG is learning is that they cannot rely on one or two groups. It has to be multiple groups for them to be able to sustain their company. Second is that I think they kind of realize that if a group becomes very successful and it's a small group, just like Blackpink, they're gonna leave. And that's what Blackpink did. They took their solo careers elsewhere and just left their group business with YG, and it's not earning enough from them. So allegedly there will be at least two groups. One would be a boy group and then the other a girl group. And the girl group is also 4 members, and they said it's going to be in the first quarter of 2024 of 2026. I kind of doubt that, but maybe it could be true primarily because I think they are going to launch the album of Blackpink in March in time for the launch of BTS's album as well. So them doing two things together at the same time, I don't know if that's even possible. But let's see. But yeah, they said that that's major learning from YG, that they cannot rely on just one or two groups. But they said that they are on their way to work with a Scooter Braun, not with Scooter Braun, but a Scooter Braun. So somebody like him as well. So they're kind of adapting the strategy of Hybe. You know, buy your connections, buy 20 years instead of working 20 years to get the same networks and connection that they have. So yeah, those are the major news. Let's see what's going to happen. I will reveal some of the actual names in the members only live stream. I can't do it here. So I know it's kind of like vague, but you understand I can't do that. So some of the names I will reveal in the Friday live stream, and also more context on the conversations that happened in Are You Sure? They're going to release Blackpink's album in the same month. I think so. Initially, he said it was September. Delayed it to November, delayed it to December, delayed it to January. Come on. Come on. It's going to be, I think so. um, both Jimin and Jay hope like being clothes free. It's good that they were roommates for so long. Okay, so I have about 5 minutes. So happy birthday to Jin. That's the reason I want happy birthday to Jin. He wrote us a letter. He wrote Armies a letter on Weverse. I don't know if you've read it already. If you haven't, please go to Weverse. You can leave a letter or a card to them. So use the for artist or something like that. There's a function in Weverse where you can actually send them a message. There are like formats that you can, templates that you can use. Please leave that there, because I think that's the part that they actually read when there is an occasion like a birthday or something, that they actually read that. But they did he wrote us a letter. So he said, "It's my birthday. Last year, I couldn't even greet you properly and say thank you to you on my birthday. It's great that I'm able to do it this year. This year, there were a lot of good things that happened to me." He said, "I put out a solo album and did concerts, and our members returned from the military without any mishaps, too." That's, I think, is very important. All of them were healthy. It was a year that I was thankful for. For me, it only works on the app on my phone. Really? Ah, it works on mine, even on my PC. It was a year that I was thankful for because of that. My birthday could come back around without much trouble. Okay. He said that he's happy that everyone came back healthy, because then he is okay with all the activities as well. Well, I always say this, but because of all of you, our armies, I want to thank you that I can work as well and live a happy life. Our armies, our army, I'm always grateful and I love you. I'll do a birthday live at around 2 p.m. in Korea time. I love you. I love you, but in Hangul, cutely. Wishing myself a birthday quickly, fast too. Okay, so not a very good translation, but still, you got the point. He left us a message. So please leave him a fan letter, a fan card. Just he deserves it. He works so hard to entertain us while we're waiting for the other members. So he deserves it, right? He deserves that thank you. And then the photo book, I don't know if it's already available. I haven't bought mine, but please don't forget to buy if you have the funds. And then top one male Korean idols by Forbes Korea. Number one is V. Isn't that amazing that he hasn't had a comeback for 2025 and he still ended up number one? Oh my gosh. Okay, so he is number one. Number three is Jim Jungkook. But by the way, I think so Jin is first in terms of the quantity of brands, and then him. So I guess that. But I think just the sheer fact that he's V, he became number one. Who needs a reason, right? All you need is to be V, and then you'll be number one. Korean Idols by Forbes Korea. Okay, so and then number 3 is Jungkook. Same. He hasn't had any kind of comeback, but still number 3. Number 4, he has had some comebacks and also a lot of brand deals, but it's Jin. I love this picture because it emphasizes his lips, and I love his lips. The shape. It's so squishy. Number 5 is Jimin. Number 5 is Jimin. Same. He hasn't had any comeback, but still ended up at number 6. And number 5, how is the data collected for this on who's first like visibility? They did so. One is online mentions. That's one. Uh, and then I think they have like some sort of qualitative measure. It's not by numbers. It's not an objective measure. It's not like the richest or not objective. It's very subjective. Jin's live is at midnight on the East Coast. So that would be 3 a.m., I guess. Okay. So next is, I'll just finish as much as I can. And then top 6 is J Hope. Okay. Well, he's had a lot of comeback. 70 weeks on Billboard World Albums chart for who? 70 weeks, my God. Okay. And then this is the most streamed. So Spotify Rap. I don't know if you've had yours already. I don't have mine because I don't use Spotify. But for South Korea, these are the most streamed Korean male, I think. So who, Don't Say You Love Me, 7, Winter Ahead, Standing Next to You, and Be Mine. Okay, so it's been 2 hours. I don't want to drag you all longer, but so look for the Spotify Wrap. I'm gonna go and get my. I'm gonna compile the US one for Spotify Wrap. I can't have instant access because I don't have like I don't use Spotify. I use Apple Music, but you can have your own Spotify Wrap now. You'll know who's your top 10. But I will have my Apple Music, the Fairy Lane Apple Music replay. Yeah. So Apple Music and also Amazon, those are the two ones that I use. I just started using Napster. I don't know if they have their own version, but yes, that's the one that I will have. But you will have your Spotify Wrap. So please share your Spotify Wrap, who's your most played. Yes, my listening age is 25. Woohoo. uh, Jen's live is at midnight on the East Coast. Oh yeah, please like the video. Please like the video. Please like the video. Okay. And also please visit the website, asianentertainmentandculture.com. We are practically launched. I just really want to upload more content on other stuff, but I'm also gonna fix the navigation bar and then we're ready for a pharma launch. But it's working and we're starting to send out press requests so that we get press releases, and also if there for any opportunity to get invited to like talks or whatever. So we're working on that already. So okay, thank you very much everybody. I hope you had fun going through Are You Sure? And let's just enjoy. Don't pay attention to haters. People will always twist everything that's happening with BTS to fit their own narrative. It doesn't matter. Just listen to the group. They are very happy with what they are doing. And always remember, they are very smart. They are very much in control of their life and in their career. And they are, as a group, as a collective, the fifth biggest shareholder of HYBE. The success of HYBE is also their success, right? Okay. Bye, everybody. See you for all those that will be a part of the Friday Live. I'll see you on Friday. And then for the rest, see you on Monday. Bye.